Hey booktube. So we're giving this another go. If you look back on my previous only 3 videos, very young channel, I tried to use a doll avatar and did stop motion sort of with it. Unfortunately, the editing process on those videos was so long that I couldn't bring myself to finish the wrap up that I had planned for a couple months back and everything. Yeah, so I decided to go ahead and just bite the bullet and show my face. So this is what you have to look at for the rest, for forever now. I just feel like it was a combination of it was too much editing, and then also I felt like the doll, you lost a lot of my personality. I'm very expressive and I talk a lot with my hands, and it was hard to get that across with a doll whose eyes don't even move. She's just stuck kind of looking sideways and everything. So we'll see if maybe in the future I have some ideas of something that I could do with her later on in the future, but for all intents and purposes, fast videos like tags or TBR outlooks, monthly wrap-ups, events, stuff like that, it takes too long to edit those videos. Because what I do is I record my voice, and then I go back and take photos, still shots of this doll doing different poses, and that takes forever to edit all of that. So a 15 to 20 minute video took me hours upon hours to edit, and I'm not all about that life. So anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about 2 of the booktube events that I will be joining for the next few months / month. Anyway, so I am going to be joining the Book Trek reading event. It goes from June through August, so June, July, August, and it's hosted by Revenant Reads, Vin over at Revenant Reads, and I will tag both the people that I talk about today. I'll tag them or link you to them in the description below. There are a lot of other hosts, but all I'm going to be tagging is just the 2 main for each event, so I don't tag 50 people. So Vin is doing Book Trek, and so throughout the months of June, July, August, you're just supposed to read at least 1 Star Trek fiction book, and it can be any iteration. So if you're an OG fan of the original series, you can read books from the original series. I happen to be more of a TNG fan. I love all of Star Trek, really, although I haven't watched the new I haven't watched Discovery, so I don't know whether I like that one or not. I'm behind my Star Trek consumptions, but I've watched all the way up through. I haven't watched the newest season of Picard, but my husband and I watched, actually I think there's 2 seasons that we're behind on, because we watched first season of Picard and I don't think we watched the second season. Anyway, so I've watched everything before that, but I happen to be more of a Next Generation fan when it comes to rewatch and stuff like that. Sometimes every few years or so, my husband and I, we just get a bug up our butts to rewatch all of Star Trek TNG, and we just binge a bunch of it. So we're overdue. We should probably, sweetie, I know you're watching, so we should totally do another Star Trek rewatch. Ugh. So reading. So personally, I will be concentrating on the Star Trek oh my god, the Next Generation fiction books. I have a lot of the collection, but I'm going to just start from kind of the first of the Next Generation related novels, and then work my way through as far as I could go. I just kind of grabbed a handful of them. Hopefully I'll get past number 4, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited to read, because this one is a novelization of the first episode of The Next Generation. So I'm kind of really excited to read this one. I actually haven't read any of these ones, so I'm very excited. I'm excited to see what other people read and what other people think of what they read. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes well. I hope anyone watching feels free to join. Either way, I am curious to know what your favorite iteration of Star Trek is, and if that has anything to do with like your age. Not to be like, you know, are you an old person or like a young person? But it's interesting to me that it seems like a lot of the people that like a certain type of Star Trek seems to be the type of Star Trek that was on TV when they were like first getting into Star Trek. It seems like that's always like, it seems like often that's how it happens. Again, I love the original series, but the Next Generation crew will always kind of just be just a smidgen, just a smidge above the original crew for me. But anyway, so that's Book Trek. The other event that I'll be participating in soon is June on the Range, and that is hosted by Michael K. Vaughn. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so for Book Trek, one of the main mission is that you read a work of fiction from one of the Star Trek novelizations or whatever. And then there's 2 away missions. The first away mission is to read some type of science book. I have a bunch of different science books that I could read. I'm part of another book club that reads like nature books, and a lot of that kind of like goes over into science. So I'm going to see if any of that overflows. So I haven't like picked out a book yet. But when I do, I will let you know. I have a feeling that I will, you know, sooner or later have 3 months to like choose a science book to read, and that's not hard for me. I really like science, so we'll see what I end up with. And then the other away mission is to read Star Trek adjacent somethings, like biography about one of the authors, stuff about the production of like, you know, like behind the scenes things. And then Vin also mentioned a cool alternative would be like parodies or satire, which I know there are some out there. I haven't read any of them, but I know I've seen them. So those are the 3 things that you can do for Book Trek for June, July, August. So in just June, there's June on the Range, and the host for that is Michael K. Vaughn. And the 3 challenges for that, the really the main challenge is just to read some sort of Western book throughout the month of June. At least one, you know, and that to me, that counts. The other 2 kind of more specific rules are to read a book by Louis L'Amour and Zane Grey. And I actually have quite a collection of Westerns as well. And so, so my Louis L'Amour is actually, funny enough, I chose the same one that Michael K. Vaughn did. It's a different cover. His is prettier, I think. The guy is actually on the horse and everything. Anyway, so it's called To Tame a Land. So I'm excited because I have a bunch of these little like short paperbacks of his, and they've just been waiting. I keep being like, this month I should read a Western, and then I keep being like, next month. So finally, June is the month to read the Westerns. So we'll see if I get to more than just these 3 that I'm going to show you, but these are my 3 that I'm going to absolutely positively get to in June. The other one is a very, very old, beaten up Zane Grey. Hopefully I can be very careful with this when I'm reading it, because it is crunchy and very tanned. So we'll see. I want to be as gentle with this as I possibly can. This is The Spirit of the Border. I know nothing about this book because it has nothing on the back. It has no blurb. The dust cover is long gone. I buy like 99% of my books used, so they all come to me in like questionable condition. So that's why that one doesn't look so great. This one though, look, my Louis L'Amour, I got this one used, and look at this. It even has the wanted poster sticker still in there. Look at that. It's got its little postcardy thingy in there. Boom. So I thought that was pretty neat. I don't think I can mail it in and get anything. I think the time is long past, but so my third thing, the one that is to read like a non-Lewis Lamar or Zane Grey book, I've got Blue Feather Fellini in the Sacred Realm by Max Evans. This one, it says, winner of the Western Heritage Award for Best Novel from the National Cowboy Hall of Fame. I actually had this one picked out a while back to read as like a fantasy novel, because I thought by like looking at it and everything and the title that it was probably more of like a fantasy type thing. But I don't know now. So I'll just read the blurb to you. I guess I could have done the other one, but Michael already did. So, part Italian and part Tao Indian, Taos, Taos. I don't know. I probably should have looked it up before I started the video. Blue Feather Fellini walks in two worlds: the gritty reality of the 20th century Southwest and the timeless landscape of myth and legend. Contacted by an enigmatic millionaire, the father of the woman he loves, he is sent on a quest into mysterious caverns guarded by long-dead Indian elders. There, with his comrades from the war and his erratic spirit guide, Dancing Bear, Blue Feather embarks on his greatest adventure yet, a search for riches, romance, and the ultimate knowledge of life itself. From award-winning writer Max Evans comes a tale of passion, laughter, and savage struggle, a magical blend of the traditional Old West, the stark realism of modern America, and the enduring legacy of Native American mythology. So, what really drew me to this when I first picked it up is that it's a Western, and it has a pterodactyl, or what looks to be a pterodactyl on the back here. I don't know what it actually is, but I'm so excited to find out. So yeah, I guess it's on the front too, but yeah, it looks interesting. It looks very interesting. And I liked how he happened to be half Italian, because that made me think of the old spaghetti Westerns. And my favorite one is High Plains Drifter. That is probably one of the best Western films ever. So anyway, so those are my three choices. I might try to get to other Westerns in June, but I typically average between like 3 to like 6 books a month. I know there are some booktube deities that can read a lot more than that, but I am not one of those people. I am a mere mortal, so I'll just be able to do maybe a few. So if I'm trying to do that and book trek and keep up with my 2 book clubs that I have on Litsy and my dad's TBR, that's a lot to try to get to in June, but fingers crossed. I feel like if I don't get to these in June, I might still just carry over into the next month. I don't see why there can't be a July on the range too. So I know June sounds better like home on the range, but you know, I get it. But anyway, so yeah, so that's my plans for the next month or 2, 3. Yeah. So anyway, what is your favorite Western, be it book or movie? I'm always on the lookout for recommendations for either. Yeah, so hopefully the people that liked the previous version of this, of me with the doll and everything, aren't too disappointed that I'm giving up on it. And anybody new, welcome. It's good to have you. So, all right, bye guys.